What's up? So today is Wednesday, December 3rd. I'll be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. So coming to the session for my bias, I want to say I'm bullish, but I feel like the main thing is that like for example, right on the daily, we're moving bullish on the daily, right? There's this fair value gap right here. We disrespected it. We're delivering from this bullish fair value gap, right? So we are in like bullish order flow, but I just want to make sure everything's set up right. Okay, yeah, I'm showing. Cool, cool, cool. But so we're moving bullish, but the only thing I don't like is there's an SMT at previous day high. So I feel like it's really obvious on the daily. Once you zoom in, it's not obvious, but you can see NQ took out previous day high, reacting off of it. ES wasn't strong enough to take out previous day high. So that's one thing I'm not the biggest fan of. But I mean higher time frame we're moving bullish. So on the 4 hour, is there an SMT in here? There is an SMT we just put in right now. You can see right at these lows, we barely took out that low. Honestly, now that I've spotted that, if we start delivering up now, I'd be a little more confident in longs. But just because like we're all the way down here, right? Like I'm talking about how I want longs. Like, am I just gonna blindly start taking longs like down here? Not really. I mean, yeah, there's a 15-minute gap that's already been rebalanced, right? So at this point, I want to see either a 5 or a 15-minute gap open up as we start pushing up. And then as we trade into it, I could get a reaction out of that. It's like a confirmation as we're moving bullish. I mean, there's also these relative equal highs. I marked them out as equal highs, but they're not. They're relative equal highs. But yeah, so honestly, like one of the reasons the like relative equal highs are such a strong draw is just because I feel like there's like people like support and resistance traders, right? Or like just there's all these stops up here, right? They think, oh, this is an area we're gonna bounce from, but like once we start moving in bullish order flow again, like these highs are like the most easiest target. That's not English. I should say most easy, but and honestly, I'd say we're shifting structure bullish, right? Like we built up all these highs, right? 10 a.m. news came out, right? Now we're pushing up. So hopefully, I want to see like a 5 minute gap get created right here. Oh my god, I'm showing top step. Wow, I talked for so long without the right thing up. Nice, nice, nice. I guess I'll re-say everything I just said. I mean, basically all I was saying was there's a daily fair value gap right here we disrespected, right? We're respecting this daily fair value gap right here. But I just didn't like the SMT at previous day high. But there is an SMT at these lows. So I definitely like that SMT down here. I feel like this is a good area to deliver from, to be honest. It's pretty much like, I guess, yesterday's PM lows, I'm pretty sure. Or AM lows, I mean. Pretty much. It's like right after New York, AM 11:30. So I still gotta wait. So this 5-minute candle is gonna close. I gotta wait for the next one to close, and hopefully there's a gap right here. Because I feel like that gap would be a great condition. Like, if we open up this 5-minute gap right here and we respect it, we're obviously going to continue moving bullish. But if we disrespect that gap, we're at least coming for these lows down here. Honestly, because me personally, I always love setting conditions, like in a range. But this is off topic, but this morning I passed 2 combines, but only one of them it like recognized it passed. Wait, right? I mean, see, I have 4 express funded accounts and I have this combine. When we look at the calendar, like I made 1.5 2 days in a row. You told me to make 3K. And I did this on 2 accounts this morning and it recognized one of them passed, but it didn't recognize the other one passed. So I guess whatever. I guess I'm trading 4 accounts today, not 5. I'm sure it'll probably recognize it by like 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. whenever it does. If not, I guess I gotta contact support. But I'll put TradingView back up. I still can't believe I talked for like 2 minutes with TradingView not up. So hopefully we're able to open this 5-minute gap right here because we're kind of pushing down. So like right now we're sweeping this high inside this 15-minute gap. So I feel like if we were going to start moving bearish, we'd probably start reacting at this area right here. But higher time frame, I'm bullish. So I'm not really looking for shorts too much. Yeah, I mean, we already rebalanced this hourly fair value gap down here, right? We put an SNT inside there. I don't know if I really like shorts. So I mean, I'm hoping we can open up this 5-minute because I still want to see this 5-minute open up and then like lower time frame. We pull back into it and get a clear rejection out of it. I would take a long off that. Oh, my chat was not showing up for some reason. You said, "Good morning, Timothy. Happy trading. If you trade in the 30-second time frame, what's your highest time frame for analysis?" I start in the daily. And you said I should have bought the evaluation. I was playing around with a Ninja Trader sim. What's your confirmation for entry? I usually look for inversions to enter. I'll deal with why my chat wasn't coming up before later. Honestly, I feel like streaming involves a lot more tech issues than I really expected. I feel like it should be so smooth in my head, and I feel like I just keep having all these issues. Okay, so we did open up. I should pay attention. So we opened up this 5-minute rate. We tapped into it and we're reacting out of it. So whatever the highest time frame gap is in this leg, I would take an inverse off of it if I can get a clean entry. So if we shoot up now, I mean, this RR is cooked. I feel like the 3 minutes can be the highest time frame here, but I don't like the break-even point. I mean, I'll still take it if I can get a good close here, but I mean, I'm gonna go break even when we take this internal high, which is like dumb close. There's no shot. If we somehow manage to close through this 2 minute and never open up this 3 minute, no, there's no shot it's gonna happen. So yeah, it's this 3 minutes, the highest time frame gap here. I said wondering if prop firm is even for me with how easy this feels. I mean, I love the risk to reward on prop firms. Like you can put in like in theory you could put in $90, get paid like 3K. And all you gotta do is pass the evaluation, meet the consistency. Oh, well, I guess the payout cap's 1.5 per payout on the 50K for the 0, but the 100K you can get a 3K payout. Yeah, we're just going straight down. So the thing is, if we're gonna invert this 5-minute, I gotta really think about if I want to take this 5-minute inverse. I mean, we're delivering from a 15-minute. We're moving. It's just higher time frame. We're bullish, but lower time frame, we're just not. At least right now. Or we might hold this gap, actually. That's better, okay. Because honestly, I'd prefer if this gap holds. Because if this gap's not going to hold, it's going to make me really question if I'm still bullish. Can you not inverse this? He said I took a few losses last night trying to figure out the Trader platform. Yeah, honestly, I kind of like NinjaTrader. And one of the things about NinjaTrader is you probably wouldn't know much about this, but there's something called Replicanto, which is like a trade copier. So like, let's say if you trade at Alpha and then you get accounts that are on like either NinjaTrader slash Tradeovate at like another prop firm, you could copy them between Alpha to like, let's say My Funded Futures, and you could also copy it to like your personal account at NinjaTrader. If that makes sense. So like, I mean, like I'm not saying do this right now, but like further down the line, it's an easy way. And there's other trade copiers that are like subscriptions, but Replicanto is a one-time fee. So I mean, if we close through this 3 minute with a very good close, I feel like I would try this, but I really don't like the risk reward in this. We honestly, if we're gonna keep moving like this, there's a chance I might get a good close. So if we close through this 3 minute without taking the internal high, I would try this. I really hope I can get a close up here though, because that would still give me at least some room before my break even. I honestly might get an entry on this. So I have what, 10 seconds till close. If we close to this 3 minute, I'm definitely gonna take a long. I don't think it's gonna close through. You know. So honestly, I mean, it's probably just gonna hit my break even point before I can get an entry then, honestly. But we'll see. Honestly, there was probably some 30-second down here I probably could have taken. If I had to guess. Nah, there wasn't. So I mean, if Nasdaq decides it wants to hang out for like 2 minutes here, I'm cool with that. I mean, because I want this long, but I mean, I really don't want to take an entry up here. Like then this entry's actually cooked up there. I still gotta wait 2 minutes for this candle to close. Wow, this gap is really holding. So I mean, honestly, it might still close through this gap. I still gotta wait a minute for the close, but I feel like this candle close right here will be very telling. Like if this thing closes really bearish and we really respect this gap, I could see us coming down for this most recent internal low right here, sweeping that. I mean, it could go further. That's like a minimum, but I feel like if we're going to invert this gap, I'll try a long. There's like 40 seconds till this candle closes. Oh, now Top Step wants to recognize I passed my combine. I'm going to go activate that real quick. Yeah, that 3-minute gap is so holding. So honestly, we're probably coming to sweep like this low down here. Activate express funded account. Continue. Stupid agreement. I agree. Cool. You said waiting for 10:30 for expansion. Honestly, I could see that. Cool. I just finished setting up. Finally, Top Step recognized I passed that other combine. I have 5 express funded accounts. Leader plus 4. That kind of excites me to see. I've had 5 XFAs at a time before, but I've never really traded them together. I kind of want to start trading them together. So we didn't put in an SMT at that low. So if we're gonna like react up, it's not like I'm gonna take a. I really prefer not to take a long right now. I mean, there's relative equal lows that aren't SMT'd here. I don't know. I don't like that. But at the same time, I do like this reaction up. I don't know. If this candle, honestly, if this thing is like ridiculously bullish and somehow manages to close through this gap in like the next 30 seconds, though, I feel like I consider taking it only because of the momentum. But you said I want SNT with lows, and there are also relative equal lows holding me from going for longs. Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Honestly, the only reason I would have taken that if I got an entry was only because I just saw like if this candle is gonna come down here and wick up that strong, and if it were to close through that gap, I feel like that's not something I'm trying to fade. But I mean, it definitely would be higher rated though if we come down here and put in an SMT or sweep out these lows or whatever. Oof. Oh. You know, like I do want to take a long, but I do want to see an SMT at the lows though. I mean, well, they are relative equal lows, but how many points away is this? Like 2 points? Okay, cool, cool. Sweep out these lows. He said, to be honest, based on what I did in the sim, I would jump in a buy on ES, May 1-2 minis. I mean, yeah, we're in bullish order flow. I mean, me personally, I just don't like, I only trade NQ, and I don't like these relative equal lows. I feel like at least, I like the momentum it's getting up though. I'm thinking so hard about if I want to take this. Can you not tempt me to take this? Yeah, okay, cool. We're respecting the gap. At least a little bit. So it just looks like upward momentum till a certain point. He said when I asked ChatGPT, it said it was NQ was a lower dollar point than ES. I mean, yeah, that's true, but NQ moves a lot more points than ES. Like if you compare 2 points on NQ to 2 points on ES, like 2 points on NQ is really nothing. But 2 points on ES is something. I feel like look at the numbers too. Like see like NQ is 25,027 like 27 or 570, right? Around. And ES is only like 6,800. So I feel like cuz the numbers are so bigger, like in relation. Well, yeah, you said it's 1250 each. It's probably 1250 per tick and there's 4 ticks in a point. This setup be tempting. Like honestly, and if we did close to this gap, we'd have like an order block here, but it's just where my stop loss is just isn't that strong. Cuz I feel like on an ideal setup, right? Like imagine we like just deliver to something significant. It's like there's no reason for this low to be traded back to, right? In an ideal day. But like in this case, there is a reason these lows could get traded back to, right? There's not an SMT there. There's relative equal lows. Like yeah, we're getting good displacement in higher time frame. This looks like a good trade, I'd say, but internally I just don't like the relative equal lows. And if honestly, if there was an SMT, like if ES swept that low but NQ didn't, I wouldn't care about the relative equal lows. Yeah, I definitely do not want to take this 3 minute gap though. I mean, it's taking forever to invert too. You said my stop loss was too tight for how I trade, had to remove it. Never catch me doing that, to be honest. Ugh. I always try to calculate my position size before I enter. I think I sent it yesterday, but like I'll put in like what my account balance is, what my stop size is, and how much I want to risk, and it'll just calculate it for me. We're just shopping right now. Oh, honestly, one thing I like is I feel like we should open up a new 5-minute candle because honestly, if we do close through this 5-minute gap, I can't really base a long off of it anymore. So I feel like since this new candle just opened up, it gives us time to kind of manipulate down, take out these lows, but then still come back up and hold the gap, which is pretty much what I need for a setup. Because I really need this low to get swept. You said I just used the minimum allowed by alpha futures for scalp. I mean, the minimum allowed is 1 micro. I mean, so 1 micro is like nothing. Because like for ES, there's MES, which is the micros. So like it's like 1/10 of a full like ES contract. Just get a little lower. You said they have a funny little rule. It stops you from profiting on anything that's a minimum allowed. Yeah, it's 10 ticks or 2-minute trades. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a hard and fast rule. Like if you do it once, they're gonna like immediately ban you. But like, I mean, yeah, they don't like when you do that. You said it's for a reason. I mean, yeah, well, the reason is, I mean, you're in a sim environment, like simulated accounts, if you know what I mean. So like, what? When did that happen? What? What is that? I can't believe we didn't take out that low. I mean, Trump doesn't speak until 2:30. You said, yeah, I have no idea what that was. I was trying to go for longs, but I mean, I can't really. Took out these highs up here. Are these like equal lows now too? They're we have real. Oh my god. You said free money. I mean, not for me. I wasn't in a trade yet. So for me to take a long, so there's no 15-minute gap here, right? On the 5-minute, at this point, I mean, unless we're gonna come down here and sweep out these relative equal lows down here and still hold this 5-minute gap, unless that's gonna happen, I'd have to wait for a 5-minute gap, like a new one, to open up here, and have that one be respected. Because I mean, honestly, at this point, I'd say it's pretty obvious we're trending to these relative equal highs all the way up here. And there's still technically, isn't this a data high up here? This is actually a data high up here because there was 8:15 news. I hope we don't just keep running with no entry. That'd be sad. So I mean, honestly, hopefully we can pull back. I want to see these relative equal lows down here at swept. So we're probably gonna open up this 5 minute right here. I feel like that's gonna be the new thing I'm looking for longs. Where like if we trade back into this 5 minute right here and lower time frame, I get a clear rejection out of there. I would take a long out of that. I'm just looking at something real quick. Interesting. So we open up this. This is a 3 minute gap. I guess we're not gonna open up this 5 minute, which is kind of annoying because it really doesn't give me a con. Oh, well, there's like a tiny, tiny, tiny 5 minute, very tiny 5 minute. What is this? 525. Oh wait, no, there's still no gap actually. I feel like today might be one of those days where we just kind of slowly just kind of churn up. I'm not gonna lie, I did try a trade on eval, but I don't support that. So there's still no 15-minute gap that really opened up here. You said I'm kicking myself for not buying the eval. I would have passed it in one shot. I mean, yeah, on the zero accounts, you can pass it in one day. Honestly, I want to say that the discount, the 30%, got extended till the end of today. I actually, I really should know the answer to this. I know it's in their Discord. I'll check right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the 30% off is extended until Wednesday at midnight, pretty much. Midnight Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, you said didn't buy it because I didn't understand the Ninja Trader platform. Yeah, you can still buy it today at 30% off. I'm in a trade at one of my evals, and I feel like I guess I'll show you guys. I mean, I don't support don't copy this trade. Like honestly, don't copy this. 'Cause I know I feel like I know some of you guys copy things, but don't copy this. This is an eval trade. But I mean, pretty much we close the 3 minute. I usually go break even at the internal high, but I just feel like these relative equal highs, along with them being data highs, are a strong draw. So on eval I'll take it, but I would not be willing to take this on a funded account. I mean, for me actually taking something on my funded account though, I have to like I don't even know if we're gonna open up a 5 minute before we take these relative equal highs. To be honest, and like I'm saying this now, like if this trade wins, I'm not counting this toward my like on stream record. So like if it wins or loses, I don't care. This is an eval trade. It looks fine to me. I would up the ante. Yeah, I don't. Me personally, I have a couple of reasons I'm not 100% confident in this. I just think that the where I'm targeting is clear. What is Robinhood trying to get me to do? Private banking unlocked? I actually have a Robinhood credit card. I low-key kind of like it. You know, the Robinhood credit card, you gotta pay for Robinhood Gold. So it's like $50 a month, but I get 3% back on everything. There is not too much volatility right now. I feel like the last hope for me to get an entry on my like actual funded account would be like, let me see. There's still no 5 minute gap, right? I mean, because this, even on like an MNQ, it might be a gap. Where is my drawing tool? So like, I mean, on NQ, that's not a gap, so it's not valid really. So like, if I were to get a retracement to a 5 minute gap, it would have to come like all the way down here. And like, is it gonna come all the way down here, split with these lows, give me a clean inversion in the next 20 minutes? Probably not. They possibly could, but. And the other thing I want to see is like maybe we could open up like a 5 minute gap somewhere around here and respect it, but like there's not too much time left for us to open up a 5 minute gap. He said, but if you were confident it's going to rise, could you not take 2 to 3 bigger leverage trades to equal? Like, you're saying take 3 separate trades right now? I mean, it just kind of adds your positions together. I mean, I just trade 1-to-1 risk reward. That's just kind of how I trade. Sometimes I go for a little more, but you said added more contracts? I mean, yeah, I could have added more contracts, but I wanted to give myself like breathing room for it to retrace all the way down to these lows. And especially on the eval I'm on, like see like the daily loss limit, like I can't modify that. I can't lose more than $1,000 in a day on the eval or and the funded account too, but and speaking of other prop firm things, I think Tradeify didn't they release a new account type this morning at 9 a.m. with daily payouts? Introducing the Select plan. I guess you can get 40% off until December 5th. I'm just reading the specifications. I guess so on the Tradeify, the new Tradeify accounts, the profit target is 2.5K. It's not even a 3K. The max drawdown is 2K. Oh, but there's a 40% consistency in the eval. If the on the funded account, if the drawdown is end of day, no, it can't be. It's so interesting that all these firms are having like daily payout options. I know my funded futures is messing around with that, but I think they don't offer it anymore. He said, yeah, my issue is going to be consistency. If I'm forced to string it out, I have to walk away with $300 even though I'm having fun. I mean, you can milk prop firms, and you could even trade prop firms, and if you want to keep trading, trade your own personal account after. But I know what some people do is like, let's say if they say there's a 40% consistency rule, they go for crazy days and they just try to make like a crazy amount so the 40% is actually like you meet the consistency rule with a high amount because your total profit's high. Dude, this thing has been just consolidating since I entered this. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this trade I'm in right now should hit. You said long in YM. Let's see. Good luck. You said the consistency rule basically means I can't make more than $600 in one day. I mean, no, it's a consistency rule, so like your biggest day can't be bigger than that percentage of your total profit. So it depends how much you're up. Because I mean, if you're up like 3K, 40% of 3K is a totally different number. I don't know where you got the 600 from. You said ChatGPT was helping me break down their rules one by one. I think you should just go to the website and read the rules yourself. Because I mean, I don't know where there's like no rule where you can't make more than $600 in a day anywhere. Like on this eval I'm trading right now, I could make $3,000 and pass it in one trade with no consistency rule at Alpha Futures. Hmm. So, oh no, I forgot that's not a 5 minute. I wish that was a 5 minute gap right here. I wish. That is not looking too good. I'm just gonna double check. There's definitely no 5 minute gap there, right? I mean, the high of this candle is 55.25. Yeah, no, there's no gap there. I don't know why I haven't marked out if there's no gap, but there's probably some 4 minute gap there, I bet. There's not a 4 minute, there's a three, excuse me, there's a 3 minute we're tapping into. Shy God sent 3 roses. I appreciate their roses. I've never gotten roses before. You said I basically have a repeatable strategy that can hit their profit targets, but we trying to keep a consistency rule. I couldn't. I don't know what this. You can't make more than $600 in one day is by 5 days. Like I'm very confused what the 600 is. Hmm. Are we gonna open up an unfilled 5 minute? We might open up an unfilled 5 minute gap. Hey Sam Rat, I'm good. How are you, bro? You said if I'm aiming for 1500 in 5 days, I can't exceed 600 on one of those days. I thought. Well, I mean that would be. Well, first of all, is that math even right? Where's my calculator? Hello. So if you're aiming for 1500, I mean a 40% consistency rule, but why would you take a payout if when you're up 1500? Like even on the smallest account size, you'd kind of fuck yourself over if you took a payout when you're up 1500. I mean, I definitely want to be up more. Like me personally, I'd wait until at least 2.5k to take a payout, and then if you're up 2.5k, like then your biggest day can't be $1,000. Yeah. Hmm. So we did open up. There's an unfilled 5 minute gap that got opened up above right here. I don't know. I just don't think there's any way for me to get a long up to that. He said that's a max. I'd keep some petty cash in the account. I'd be pulling out 1500 weekly. I mean, it's pretty unlikely you're gonna keep hitting winning days every day. And they also move you to live after like 5 payouts. So I mean, we tapped into that 5 minute. We're kind of reacting out of it, which really isn't a good sign. I feel like it would be a really good sign if we were able to invert this 5 minute gap. You said they'd move you to live after 5 payouts, typically, yeah. And then you trade like an actual live account. It's honestly pretty standard. Like no matter which prop firm you go to, after 5 payouts, they kind of move you to live. I like Top Step, My Fund of Futures, Tradeify. Pretty much all of them. I will be very happy if this 5 minute gets inversed. I will be very happy. Now again, like this 5 minute right here, I still would like to take a trade on my actual funded account. You said I thought you had to qualify for Alpha Prime. Well, Alpha Prime's something different. But yeah, the reason I wouldn't take this trade on my actual funded account I'm only taking this on eval is because even if we get this 5 minute inverse right here, we're not delivering from a 5 or a 15 minute fair value gap. Like I know it looks like on MNQ, it kind of looks like there's a fair value gap right here, but on NQ there's not. So I mean, even if we invert this 5 minute, if we were delivering from something significant, I would take this on my actual funded account. But because we're not delivering from anything significant, this is only worthy of an eval still. You said, remember we spoke yesterday about a 50K eval? I'm buying alpha by Monday alpha. Should I be risking 300 USD? I mean, that's definitely not a bad idea. If you risk 300, that gives you like what 7 trades of breathing room before you blow the account. That's definitely a good margin. I always like to think about like approximately what's your win rate and what's your reward, and you can kind of think like, oh well, if I keep up this win rate, like what should my average drawdown be? If that makes sense. And there's calculators you can look online with stuff like this, but I think like you can like search a risk of ruin calculator, which pretty much tells you like you can enter your win rate, your risk reward, and it'll tell you what the risk of you blowing your account is depending on like you could tell it if I lose 5 trades, I blow the account, and it'll give you the probability of that. Oh, and at Alpha though, there's the Black Friday sale got extended until tonight at midnight. So like at what midnight Eastern Standard Time. Until then, it's gonna be 30% off all evaluations if you use discount code TIMB272. I definitely want to see us close to this 5 minute. That will make me a happy camper. You said, my friend, I just passed 100K after 2 months, and you blown today's news event. So I guess what you're saying is you passed it after 2 months, but today you blew the account on the news event. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, but you gotta just use it as a learning lesson. You always gotta pay attention to the economic calendar. Like me personally, I look at the economic calendar every single day before I trade, for situations like that, pretty much. So we closed through this 5 minute right here, but we're not really continuing, at least yet. And we're retesting the inverse right now. I could add to my position size and trail my stop to here, to be honest.
Order filled.
Yeah, why not? I'll give myself a little bit of breathing room. So I feel like the main reason I did that though is because we inverted this 5 minute. In theory, this if we're gonna remain bullish, this low should be respected. I'm probably getting stopped out in this, to be honest. And if I was like on an actual funded account, I would not be acting like this. I figure I just have this buy stop here though, because then I feel like if it starts coming back up, I'll kind of be in for my full position size. I mean, it's whatever. Even if they stop me out, I feel like because I feel like if we run this low, we're probably coming all the way down here to run these relative equal lows. I mean, you said why longs? I mean, well, honestly, this is just an eval trade, but like I do know there's this huge move down, right? But I feel like there's these relative equal highs up here, and one of them is also a data high, like at 8:15, right? There was news that came out, and I feel like we're just like we swept out. There's an S&T at one of the lows. I forget which one, honestly. But there's an S&T at the lows too. We're kind of delivering from, and I feel like higher time frame we're bullish. Like on the daily, we're delivering from a daily fair value gap. We disrespected another daily fair value gap. I mean, I'm okay just trading eval I got for cheap. So we swept out this low. Hopefully we can react off it. But I mean, maybe not.
Order filled.
Yeah, whatever. So I got stopped out there. I mean, to be honest though, even if I didn't add, I feel like I still would have gotten stopped out because I feel like we're gonna come take these relative equal lows now. And honestly, even like I feel like if I was in my normal funded account, I would be looking for longs, right? Like after we took out these lows. But it's just too late in the day to be honest. Once it gets to 11:10, I'm not really comfortable taking trades. I feel like we get closer to that like lunch hour consolidation. But I'll move over to trading view and I'll break down all the price action today pretty much. So at 9:30, it was 9:30. 9:30 was all the way like over here. So at 9:30, right? We had this SNT. So like I'll start in the daily, right? So on the daily, there's a lot going on here. I mean, so we inverted this daily fair value gap right here. So at this point, I feel like the next clear draw is this high up here, right? So we inverted this daily. On top of that, we opened up this daily fair value gap right here, and we're respecting it. So like on the daily, we're moving bullish order flow, right? 4 hour, pretty much same thing, right? And we put an SMT inside this 4 hour gap, right? Because you can see this like this low right here. Um, excuse me. So ES took out this low, NQ never did. There was an SMT at previous day high, which kind of was a little weird. But once we came all the way down here and put in this SMT at the low, I was like, okay, if there's an SMT on both sides, I'm not really going to let this SMT at the top kind of throw me off. So, that's why I saw a higher time frame, right? On the 1 hour, kind of the same story. The SMT down here. On the 15-minute, we did open up this 15-minute gap. We rebalanced into it, but we weren't strong enough to actually, like, after we tapped into this 15, right? We never actually came out and re-swept this low. And then I waited until 10 a.m. because I wanted that 10 a.m. news to come out first. So 10 a.m. news pretty much did nothing. But where was 10 a.m. news? This is 10 a.m. news. So technically this is a data low over here. But I feel like I actually never checked this in live time. Let me check swing. You know, data low never got swept in NQ or ES. But I feel like those data lows, like if they're counter trend, they don't necessarily need to get hit. But so we pushed up. I was looking. I wanted to see. Oh no, we did open this 5-minute gap. So at first I was looking at this 5-minute gap right here. So I was looking to base a trade off of that. So I wasn't able to actually get an entry. I was looking at the highest time frame gap was this 3-minute. So I really was considering taking a long if we closed this 3-minute, but it just took us so long to do it. It's really not something that I thought was going to happen. I feel like it's lower rated the more time that goes on. And then we had this just crazy candle, so it took my break even, so I couldn't really take this 3-minute. And then so from here, I was pretty much waiting for either like a 5 or a 15-minute gap to open up. We never really opened up a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap right here. So on eval, the thing you were looking at me had on before was once we closed through this 3-minute, I kind of tried this. I just didn't like how my stops had well, me personally, I would never take a trade where we close through the internal high, only because it was on eval. And I feel like there's just these relative equal highs up here, and it's also a data high. Because at 8:15, there was that red folder news coming out at 8:15. So it's both a data high and relative equal high. So I feel like it was just a strong draw. I was pretty much just going for a 1-to-1 on eval, essentially. But actually, so what ended up happening with that eval trade, though, was once we closed through this 5-minute right here that opened up. Now, I'm not willing to take a trade like this on my regular funded account, but it's something I would take on an eval, right? So essentially what I did is I just added to my position and trailed my stop. So I got stopped out in that eval trade. But the reason I did that is honestly, I could be wrong, but I feel like if we're going to come sweep out these lows after inverting this gap, we're going to come down and take out the relative equal lows. And that would have allowed me to get more profit if we hit the relative equal highs. I mean, I could be wrong, but but the main reason I'm not willing to take that on a funded account, right? So like I'm not risking my actual like hard-earned funded accounts on that because we're not delivering from anything significant. Like on the 15-minute gap, there's no fair on the 15-minute time frame, there's no fair value gap there. And on the 5-minute, there's no fair value gap right here. I mean, there is like this 5-minute gap right here, but it already did its job because we already kind of came up and took out this high. So for me to be looking for longs, like the best case scenario for me to put risk on my funded account would be if we managed to come sweep out these lows and still hold this 5-minute gap, but I never got that. So yeah, that was pretty much everything that happened. So I took 0 trades on my funded account though. That's what's more important. I'll show you that. And I actually did say, I mean, if you go back and watch the recording, even when I was in profit in that trade, I said I'm not counting this toward my like on stream like P&L record, if that makes sense, because it was just an eval trade. I was kind of gambling. At first, I wasn't even showing you guys because I don't want you guys to take it, and I even said not to take it. But you can see these are my Top Step Express funded accounts. These are the ones I've been trading. I added on 2 more today. So there's all 5 of my Top Step accounts with no trades for the day. And then there's the Alpha account. I hit that $1,000 max loss limit on eval. But I said eval trade, do not take. That makes it okay. And I said that before I took it. It's not like I just lost the trade and was like, wait, no, that was eval, guys. But does anyone have any questions on anything that happened today or anything trading related, anything at all? Oh, while you guys let me know if you have any questions, though, like I said before, though, Alpha Futures is still running that Black Friday discount. It's going to end tonight at midnight. It's going to be 30% off all evaluations until then, so definitely take advantage. I think Alpha Futures is a great firm, and 30% off is honestly, like, they don't do discounts like that very often. But, I'll give it a couple more minutes if anyone has any questions. It'd be funny, though. I mean, it wouldn't be funny. Imagine if we came and stopped me out from that 5-minute, but then the 3-minute still holds, so I regret adding that position. I could see that, to be honest. Well, I think the 3-minute I entered here. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But let me check. They don't have any questions in the TikTok. I never checked that chat. Yeah, I guess probably not. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by today. I'll be back for the rest of the week. I think tomorrow, you said okay, 1.5 R partials on YM. Good stuff, bro. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by. I'll be live going break even. Definitely a good decision. When I'm up that much, I always go break even. But with tomorrow I'll be live at 9:30 and Friday's 10, I'm pretty sure. Whichever days, if there's red folder news at 10 a.m., I just wait until after that. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.